Think about your favorite local business for a second. Like, the one right down the street.
Oh, yeah, everyone has one of those.
Right. Picture the familiar awning, the way the door swings open, maybe the specific smell of the place. You know exactly where you are and what that place stands for. But then you go look up their digital footprint online.
And it's usually a completely different universe.
It really is. Chances are the warm, carefully curated aesthetic you love in person looks like an unmanaged, chaotic disaster on the internet.
Oh, absolutely. It's a universal friction, honestly.
Yeah, and today we're going to a cinema on the island of Crete to figure out why that happens. Because what looks like a total marketing failure might actually be a highly efficient, entirely authentic reflection of the modern world.
I love this topic. Brick and mortar spaces, they operate by one set of physical rules, and the digital realm just demands something entirely different.
Right, and we're looking at a highly specific case study today that perfectly illustrates this collision. We are heading to the city of Rethymno, to a local theater called Cineland Pantelis.
Such a fascinating spot.
It really is. And our stack of sources for this deep dive is wonderfully bizarre. On one side, we have this very dry, informational municipal text detailing the exact physical attributes of the cinema itself.
Very straightforward.
Yeah, super straightforward. But on the other side, we have a jarringly eclectic stack of 7 YouTube video transcripts pulled straight from the cinema's official channel.
This is where things get weird.
Exactly. Now, just to set the ground rules for you listening, our mission today is not to review the movies featured in these trailers.
No, we are definitely not movie critics today.
Right. The films themselves are just data points for us. The actual mission is to honestly critique Cineland Pantelis' YouTube strategy.
We want to analyze what the content on their channel actually reveals about the role of the local cinema in the digital age.
And to really grasp that digital disconnect, we have to start with the physical reality. The contrast is the whole point.
Yeah, you have to understand the building first.
So, picture the physical space. Cineland Pantelis is located at Emanuele Portaliu 3-5 in the newer part of Rethymno.
Okay.
The source text paints a picture of a very well-established, modern facility. Like, this isn't some dusty, nostalgic projector room holding on to the past.
Right, it's not a vintage theater.
Not at all. They have 2 fully air-conditioned screening rooms, Cineland 1 and Cineland 2. They've invested in 3D digital projection systems. They've got Dolby digital sound. But the detail that really sticks out, the one they specifically highlight, is their comfortable seating with, quote, floating floors.
Yeah, that specific architectural detail tells you everything about their business model, actually.
Wait, really?
Uh,
A floating floor isn't just like a marketing buzzword?
no, it is a structural mechanism for acoustic isolation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it basically prevents low-frequency sound vibrations from traveling through the foundation and bleeding between the 2 theaters.
So you don't hear the explosions from the movie next door.
Exactly. And installing that means tearing up the foundation and putting the seating area on these acoustic isolators.
That sounds incredibly expensive.
It is. It communicates a massive capital investment in the physical sensory experience of the customer.
Right. And the municipality text also puts a huge emphasis on accessibility.
Yes, that's a big part of it.
It notes that Cinema 2 has dedicated wheelchair access, and there's a specific alternative entrance for Cinema 1 just to accommodate people with disabilities.
Which is huge.
Yeah, they're engineering the physical building to ensure absolutely anyone in the city can cross the threshold comfortably.
And when you synthesize those details, the floating floors, the pristine Dolby sound, the climate control, the meticulous accessibility, it becomes clear that the physical cinema is designed as a highly curated premium comfort bubble.
A comfort bubble. I like that.
Yeah, it's deeply rooted in the physical community. They are offering a tactile, immersive environment that simply cannot be replicated on a couch at home.
No matter how big your television is. Think of it like a hospitably tailored living room built for an entire city. You walk in, the outside world is shut out, and you're just taken care of.
Which is a beautiful concept.
It is. But this brings me to the core friction of our deep dive. Honestly, looking at their digital presence, I initially thought their marketing team was just entirely incompetent.
It's quite the transition.
Because if their physical space is deliberately designed for curated comfort and accessibility, well, their YouTube channel is a complete disaster.
It really is.
Like, curated comfort is not the phrase that comes to mind when you scroll through their page.
Moving from the welcoming, isolated environment of Emanuele Portaliu Street directly to their YouTube channel It genuinely induces a severe case of digital whiplash.
Totally. Let's get into the honest critique of this strategy. Think about the mom-and-pop coffee shop or the diner in your own neighborhood.
Right?
When they want to market themselves today, the internet demands a certain playbook. You expect them to build a digital community that mirrors their physical one.
Yeah, you expect, like, behind-the-scenes videos, introducing the staff, maybe a quick tour, showing off those expensive floating floors.
Exactly. You expect an aesthetic. But Cineland Pantelis does absolutely none of that.
Zero.
Their YouTube channel is used in a brutally utilitarian way. It is just a raw dumping ground for movie trailers.
It's wild.
Zero original content. Zero local charm.
It abandons all modern social media conventions. I mean, modern platforms demand a cohesive vibe, right? So the algorithm knows how to categorize and serve your content.
Right, you have to feed the algorithm.
But Cineland Pantelis ignores the algorithm entirely. They are treating YouTube exactly for what it fundamentally is at its technical base, which is just a free video hosting service.
It's a hard drive to them. Let's walk through what a local resident actually experiences when they click on this channel, just based on the transcripts we have.
Okay, let's look at it.
So you're scrolling, looking for something to do on a Friday night, and first you hit a trailer for a horror movie called Other Mommy. It is pure psychological dread. There's a kid whispering, "Somebody was in the house," and a voiceover saying, "She snakes. Sometimes she's there, sometimes she's not."
Super unsettling.
Right. It's tense, it's frightening, clearly intended for an adult audience looking for a scare.
The visual language, the sound design, the pacing, it's all engineered by a global film studio to evoke deep anxiety.
And then literally the next video down in the feed, no transition, no playlist sorting. You are immediately blasted with Cocomelon, the movie.
Just instant tonal whiplash.
You go straight from she snakes
Cute.
to brightly colored toddlers and a high-pitched voice singing, "Welcome to the Lost Toys."
It's amazing. It's aggressively sweet toddler adventure stuff. And if you scroll one more time, just trying to regain your bearings, you slam into Clayface.
Right, the Batman spinoff.
Pure, gritty superhero angst. A guy breaking down, yelling, "I'd like to volunteer for human trials," crying that the justice system failed him, and finally screaming, "I'm a monster."
The tonal dissonance is staggering. From a user experience perspective, it's completely chaotic.
Yeah. There is absolutely no curation of mood.
It acts less like a slick marketing page and more like a messy, overloaded bulletin board in the center of town.
That's a great analogy.
Or people just, staple flyers over other flyers. So my initial thought was that they just don't know how to use the internet.
Which is a fair assumption.
But looking deeper at the mechanics of it, is this actually a raw, authentic representation of what a local cinema fundamentally is in the modern era? Like a conveyor belt for wildly different global products?
That's exactly it. It looks incompetent if you judge it by the standards of, say, an influencer trying to build a personal brand.
Right.
But if you look at it through the lens of pure utility, it's a fascinatingly honest reflection of the cinema's role as a neutral vendor.
A neutral vendor, yeah.
They aren't trying to be a YouTuber. They just need a content delivery network.
Yeah.
They need a place to park large video files so they can embed the links onto their official website to show locals what's playing that week.
They're literally just stocking the digital shelves. They get these massive digital press kits from the global distributors, and instead of paying for their own server space, they just dump the files onto YouTube and grab the embed code.
It's highly efficient.
Yeah.
But the side effect of that purely functional approach is that the YouTube channel, when viewed in isolation, is entirely devoid of the local building's charm.
Right. There's no air-conditioned comfort on that channel.
No, it's just a raw fire hose of global marketing material. It creates a fascinating paradox, actually.
Yeah.
The physical space is hyper-local, but the digital space is aggressively global.
And what they're stocking those digital shelves with tells us something incredibly detailed about the people actually walking through their physical doors.
It really does.
Because even though the channel is a chaotic mess, it's actually a highly accurate demographic tool if you know how to read it.
The chaos perfectly maps out the fragmented population of Rethymno. You can see exactly who lives in this city and who visits this city, just by examining how these wildly different videos are linguistically tagged.
Yes, let's break down that tagging because it reveals the invisible lines drawn inside those two floating floor screening rooms.
It's so interesting.
Looking at the source material, you see two crucial Greek words appearing in the titles. You have Rethymno, which means subtitled, and textlostismo, which means dubbed.
Right.
So the subbed versus dubbed divide. It's like a microcosm of globalization happening right on this local theater's page.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And the distinction between subtitling and dubbing in European film markets is heavily dictated by economics and audience demographics.
How so?
Well, let's look at the dubbed content, the entertainment. We mentioned CoComelon earlier.
Yeah.
This is a massive piece of global intellectual property, but the theater specifically notes it is dubbed. It has been localized for young Greek children in the community who simply cannot read subtitles yet.
Oh, right, of course.
So it serves the hyperlocal family unit.
And catering to that local base isn't just about translating global kids' movies either. The channel also features a trailer for a film called Kota.
Yes, Kota.
Reading through this transcript, it is dripping with traditional, intimate flavor. It's a Greek language film, and the dialogue is completely grounded in domestic life.
Very localized.
Yeah, someone is complaining about their boss, and then there's this very specific, culturally resonant line about how the lady of the house is going to make a freshly cooked soup you'll lick your fingers for.
It's so intimate. It speaks directly to a shared cultural experience that a tourist or a transient visitor would likely not engage with.
Right.
That film represents the traditional foundational community of Rethymno.
But then you step across the hallway into Cinema One, or you scroll down a fraction of an inch on your phone and you hit the global audience.
A completely different world.
This is where the subtitled tag dominates. And the content here shifts dramatically.
The subtitle offerings are entirely Hollywood spectacle. The strategy here targets a completely different demographic.
Who are they targeting?
We're talking adults, expats, international university students, and the massive tourist population that floods Crete every single summer.
Oh, right. The tourists.
These are viewers who want to hear the original English audio tracks and just read the Greek subtitles.
The friction of these films existing side by side is wild. I mean, you leave the screening room showing the quiet Greek movie about freshly cooked soup, and next door they're blasting Violent Night 2.
Oh, that trailer's something else.
The trailer for this features a highly cynical, burnt-out Santa Claus trying to figure out why he lost his magical powers, and he's wondering aloud if it's because, quote, maybe I killed too many people.
Yeah.
He's demanding nose candy, and someone is screaming, make my sleigh.
It's so chaotic.
It's a highly aggressive, very American cultural export.
It represents a completely different set of consumer expectations. And they follow that up with the Thomas Crown Affair teaser.
Oh, yeah, the heist movie.
Right, focusing on high-stakes heists and adrenaline. The cinematic language is fast, it's slick, and it's entirely disconnected from local Greek domestic life.
Or take Children of Blood and Bone. This is a massive, VFX-heavy fantasy epic about ancient magic and forgotten gods. The trailer is driven by an incredibly modern, pounding pop track with lyrics just repeating big energy, over and over.
Very modern, very loud.
You have characters talking about having the ability to annihilate us, all layered over this massive pop sound. The sheer scale of it is as far from a local community comedy as you can possibly get.
Yet they are fundamentally equal products in the eyes of the Cinema's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
They're just different files taking up space in the same digital folder.
You know, I realized something reading through these specific transcripts that just perfectly crystallized this whole deep dive for me.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Think about the physical action a local might take. You can pick up your phone right now and dial the theater. A real person sitting in Rethymno, Greece, will answer the phone.
Right, you're making a physical connection. You're interacting with a localized, physical Greek business. But their digital footprint, the primary thing representing them to the entire world, is an uncurated collision of CoComelon, violent Santa Claus, ancient magic with pop tracks, and local soup jokes.
It's a fascinating juxtaposition. And the deeper issue here is what this reveals about the modern function of the local cinema.
How do you mean?
Well, we tend to romanticize local businesses, right? We want them to be these quaint little hubs. But their primary role on platforms like YouTube is not to build a cozy digital community.
Right.
Their role is to act as a linguistic and cultural bridge.
So they're essentially providing a highly utilitarian menu. A local resident or a visiting tourist can look at that chaotic digital bulletin board and say, okay, tonight I can choose between a familiar Greek comedy, or I can watch a subtitled Hollywood heist movie.
Exactly, and it all happens under one roof.
One roof with floating floors.
Right. The digital page is chaotic because global culture is chaotic. The physical space is the only mechanism bringing order to it.
That's a really good point. They provide the air conditioning, the 3D projectors, the acoustic isolation of the floating floors. They provide the physical vessel.
And the internet provides the chaotic content.
Exactly. The theater's job is simply to host the collision safely.
The theater is the calm container for the world's noisy content. And, you know, this dynamic isn't just about a single theater in Crete.
Not at all.
Think about the businesses in your own life. Whether you're listening to this in New York, Tokyo, or a small town in the Midwest, this is the universal struggle of brick-and-mortar spaces grappling with the digital realm.
Absolutely, because social media algorithms demand curation. They want a cohesive aesthetic.
But local businesses often lack the time, the resources, or, frankly, the fundamental need to play that game.
They prioritize the physical reality over the digital aesthetic.
Yeah, they put their money into the physical floating floors, not into hiring a social media manager to make, like, quirky TikToks about their popcorn machine.
Which makes sense. They just need a place to shout, hey, we are open, and here is what we are selling this week.
There's something refreshing about a business refusing to play the influencer game. But as I look at this purely utilitarian digital strategy, it builds toward a really fascinating, somewhat melancholic question about the future.
It does. It forces us to consider how local history is preserved in a digital-first world.
Think about this for a second. The physical theater is deeply embedded in its community, but its entire online identity is made up of other people's content.
It's an endless, uncurated stream of Hollywood and global trailers.
Right. If your digital footprint is made entirely of other people's art, what happened to the unique historical identity of the theater itself in the minds of the next generation?
That is the ultimate digital paradox.
Yeah.
We increasingly rely on the internet to archive our history. So in 50 years, if a local historian wants to understand what Cineland Pantelis meant to the community of Rethymno, and they look back at this digital archive, what will they find?
Just a bunch of trailers.
Right. Will they be able to sense the warmth of the physical space, the accessibility, the local charm? Or will they just see a cold, chaotic mirror reflecting the global entertainment industry of the 2020s?
It's wild to think about.
If a local institution only serves as a digital conduit for global IP, its own unique history risks being quietly erased from the digital record.
The idea that by just being a functional vessel for global media, the local identity might digitally disappear, even if the physical theater is a beloved cornerstone of the city.
It's sobering.
It really makes you look at every local business a little differently.
We want to thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a great conversation.
The next time you walk past your favorite local spot, your theater, your bookstore, the diner on the corner, take a second to look them up online. Look at the friction between the physical charm you're standing in and the digital footprint they leave behind.
You might be surprised by what you find.
Definitely. Keep questioning the digital strategies shaping your physical world, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.